day 35, December 30th. It's real breezy this afternoon, probably 15 plus mile an hour wind out of the northwest. High or upper 20s, which doesn't sound that cool, but compared to what it's been, this is definitely a cool snap. It's been a pretty action-packed last couple of days. Yesterday, we put it on the episode today, the weekly episode today. Caleb Griner killed a really nice buck, but Drake Lamb killed a really nice one last night too. I'm going to show you just a few highlights from that hunt. Nothing, we don't want to give the whole story away because we're going to save it for next Monday, but I wanted to show you a few highlights from Drake's hunt while I'm walking to my blind here. I'm going back to this cornfield finally. I've been keeping that in my back pocket, not wanting to hunt it until the conditions were right. With this colder snap coming, this is the best time for the deer to be heading back to corn. So it's in the same rough area where I killed that buck on the 22nd of November. So nobody's been in there for a month. I did move the blind a little bit because all the corn in that area where the blind was had been eaten. So I kind of shuffled it over to a new spot where there was still a little bit of corn left. I'm gonna be glad to be in a blind with this cold wind blowing. That's gonna feel a lot better than being up in a tree tonight. So I'm gonna grab my stuff here and get rolling and show you a little bit of action from Drake's hunt from last night.
Well, it is December 29th, and I finally have a buck tag in my pocket again for Iowa. Nonetheless, I'm here on this big CRP permission farm that I've got, and I'm in here after one deer in particular. I've been getting pictures of him all year, I think back to October, but I know he made it through gun season because I've been running camera on the south part of this farm, and I've been picking him up here as of late, so I know he's still alive. He's not really showing any daylight activity, which is I kind of expect to clear down on that south end, but I'm way up in here on the north end, you know, where I think I've got a 50-50 chance of him bedding up on this ridge where he can see everything. I think I got him clean, so got a west wind. It seems like all the deer bed up here on this ridge and filter out. I've got corn back behind me, so it's been super warm here lately, and I mean, the chances of me seeing this deer is probably pretty slim, but don't know if you don't go, so I'm gonna settle in and see what happens tonight. That's him. That's him. Oh my gosh. That's the biggest deer I've ever shot. I don't know. I don't think I got it on footage, but he came across the CRP. That's the deer, the one deer that I was in here for. I've had neighbors shooting back there all afternoon. I was just sitting here. I'm just like, well, if, you know, you don't, like I said earlier, I said, you don't know if you don't go. And that's the deer I've been in here after all season. Had pictures of him. And just for whatever reason, I saw him out in the CRP, just headed straight at me. And he kind of veered off. I was trying to get the camera on him. He veered off, and he was no further than 30 yards when I shot him. I mean, that's that's insane. I can't believe that. I mean, I knew he's here, but I just I just don't even know what to say, man. That's insane. That's the one deer I was in here after. Whew. Alright, it is probably a couple hours after I shot that deer. Got Josh, got Justin on the camera with me, and I ain't gonna waste any time. We're gonna go look at him. He's right over here in the grass. Right in here's where he rolled. Okay. Should be able to see blood here soon. He was pumping. Boom, there he is. Dude, look at this deer. Look at this deer. Oh, man. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what to say, man. I mean, that's insane. Biggest deer of my life, hands down. The mass on this thing. He broke off one in here, but I don't even care. That is insane.
Realtree's Midwest Whitetail is brought to you by Cuddyback, Drake Non-Typical, Easton Arrows, Frigid Forage, Fuse, Grizzly Coolers, Hoyt, and Realtree.
Got 7 does in front of the blind right now, and I've tried a couple of times to squeegee the window off so that we could film it, but each time I reach my hand up there, one of the does looks right at the blind, but they're all within 15 yards. It's really windy and gusty, and they get really nervous when it's like that. And anyway, touching base real quick on Drake's hunt from last night. The main weekly episode that we're going to produce next Monday will have a lot more of the details, the history, the story behind that deer. There's a lot of stuff that we didn't tell in today's blog. We just gave you the highlights of the hunt. So make sure that you check back again to the weekly show on Monday, and you can catch all the rest of the strategy and the story that goes behind that hunt. I'll probably check back in again before the end of legal shooting time here, but I just want to give you an update on what's been happening so far. We had as many as 12 at one time out in front of us. One of them was just a little nubbin buck. The rest of them were all antlerless deer, does and fawns. They're gone now. So we'll probably get the windows all cleaned up as best we can and get ready, because hopefully there's a round 2. But either way, like I said, I'll come back in again if there's something worth talking about. Otherwise, my plan is to keep hunting each day this week. That's my hope, is to really make the most of this coming week. So check back again tomorrow, and should have another edition for you. And I'd say by the end of the week, should be able to bring you some pretty good action, I hope.